Welcome back, Block TV. Up next, one of my favorite subjects, death. Or rather, what happens to your crypto assets after you die? Cryptocurrencies are a relatively new phenomenon in the world stage, but assuming they don't die an untimely death at the hands of regulators or competing technology, it is safe to assume that they will continue to hold a value going forward. As such, investors are concerned about what happens to their property after they leave their worldly husks. To hear more about crypto from beyond the crypt, we sent our reporter, Ron Spitzer, the one and only, to talk to one of the experts on this topic, crypto law expert Aviya Akira. Let's see what she had to say.
Distributed ledger technologies and cryptocurrencies are extremely nascent. That's the buzzword going around. Its supporters are learning, developing, and evolving along with the tech. With that, a lot of questions arise. How can we properly regulate the tech? Do we regulate blockchain and cryptocurrency separately? And how can we stimulate mainstream adoptions? Our latest question is what happens to your crypto assets after you pass away? What are the issues with willing over your cryptocurrencies currently?
Okay, so before we go into the willing part, we have to talk about what happens when you're still alive. And that's a more high-level description of where crypto wallet regulation is right now. The crypto wallet service providers are the least regulated out of the whole ecosystem. You see a lot of regulatory attention going to exchanges, to custodians and brokers, and crowdfunding platforms, everything basically. And wallets are sort of, the little kid that gets left at home. It's changing. Right now you have some unique licenses. For example, I think Estonia is the only country that actually issued a specific wallet license. But you also have Gibraltar and Malta and Japan that's looking into regulating crypto wallets. In Malta and Gibraltar, it's sort of like a part of the whole DLT regulatory framework. And if you're a service provider in the crypto world, you're gonna have to be licensed under those frameworks.
Is there a difference in how one would choose to tackle this with a hot wallet versus how you would tackle it with a cold wallet?
If I'm a wallet provider, then I have totally different challenges and considerations to take into account. If I'm hosted, then there's a third-party risk, and that's something that you have to anchor into your terms and conditions in a very strong way. You have to do due diligence on the third party that you're using for your client's keys. If you're a cold wallet, actually, then legally, sometimes it's easier for you because, well, the user has all the responsibility, and once you deliver the hardware, and besides technical faults that could happen, you're basically out of the loop in a way.
What role do you think that regulation is playing?
The regulations are very provider centric, right? They guide the provider how to act. But there's no user regulation, right? There's nothing that guides users how to act. Today, even if a provider is perfect and they comply with all the requirements, I may be still stupid and not keep my keys where I should and not actually secure myself. And the same goes for wills in my eyes, because there could be guidelines for the provider, but the provider can't really control the way you will over your crypto because it's your free will. I would address this issue not through regulation, through best practices and through education. We're lacking education in the blockchain space of investors, of users. So many people are keeping their crypto on the exchanges still, even after all the hacks. We need to educate, not regulate first before we regulate. Because if we regulate an uneducated market, I think it's gonna just be a waste of time.
Do you think that regulators understand the technology enough to regulate it properly?
The regulators as a whole are not educated about the technology, as I said, but there's always like this committee, commission, hub, someone, a group of people that are interested on understanding blockchain and properly regulating it. But usually those people are few. And I think that generally, no, there is no good knowledge among regulators and among banks as well, which is another problem about crypto. And I think that regulators, governments are afraid. They're afraid of crypto. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, is afraid of crypto.
Why do you think that countries or regulators are scared of crypto?
They can see the disruption potential. Most regulators today, they're very much attracted to talking about blockchain and DLT, not crypto. Because the crypto part, they want to disarm it. They prefer talking about the technology. It's much nicer, it's less threatening for them. And so you see everyone regulating DLT and blockchain, but the cryptocurrency part is sort of being, pushed out of the frame. By a lot of regulators and international authorities. If you're an exchange, if you're a broker, for example, you trade security tokens. Essentially, these are financial assets, and essentially, the current regulations can fit, but some modifications have to, apply naturally. But that's something that can be done based on pre-rulings or specific cases. So I think we're going to see a lot of adaptation of crypto to existing financial regulations, and not as many new laws specific for crypto or blockchain.
What advice do you have for people in the predicament of how to will their crypto right now?
If you have crypto assets, today a very common thing is just to entrust the lawyer that drafted your will to act as a trustee or as a sort of custodian after the person passes away, and basically you have to give that lawyer your PIN or your key or your hardware wallet, however you use the wallet, and that's how it's done today, which is sort of like pirate style, right? I was talking about the crypto licenses before, so I know some companies, big companies, are now getting a wallet license, right? But there are different companies that are working on the issue that what happens if you lose your PIN. Today, if you lose your PIN, your funds are lost. Your crypto is usually lost. And that brings me back to what I said before. We're not there yet, because I think during 2019, the fact that you had to that your crypto was lost if you lost your PIN would be ridiculous. Would seem ridiculous. And so the will part would get much easier, because there would be a way for the person that got the crypto to retrieve what the person that passed away left them. So right now it's very complicated, but I think that again 2019 would make things exponentially easier, and that among other things as well.
And with us in studio right now to answer anything and everything to do with blockchain and death is attorney, blogger, cyber rights activist, one of my favorite people on the globe, Jonathan Klinger. Hello to you.
Hello to you.
One heck of an introduction, wasn't it? By the way, do you own crypto?
I'd rather not say.
Being the lawyer that you are. Yeah. Okay, had you owned crypto, what would happen to it when you died?
Okay, so in my case, there's a plan. Like everything in life.
I knew it.
So
okay.
You first have to map all your assets, meaning the fact that you own crypto doesn't mean a thing unless the people who are supposed to take care of things after you die know about it and know how to take care of it. So first you map all your assets.
First you got to meet the right people. Okay. Yeah. Map your assets. Yeah.
Then after you've mapped them and you have a list, these are the things that I want to give to my children, to my family, then you can call a will, but you don't have to. You have to prepare a plan, meaning you just can't go and give your keys to someone and tell him, well, keep this note, and if I die, just use it, all will be okay.
I wouldn't do that.
If you do that, like a will that says, this is my bank account, you can take care of that, it means that if that guy is hacked, then you're compromised. So you can't trust one person. Now, there are two solutions for this. The first is really mathematical, and it's using multi-signature wallets. This means that...
What are those?
This is a wallet that requires 3 out of 5, 5 out of 7 people to execute any transaction. This means that if you have 5 family members that you trust, you give each one of them a wallet and tell them, out of you guys, 3 have to click on a button in order to move the funds to a new account once I die. Now, this is
a caveat. Who trusts 5 people in their family? But
you only have to trust them not to cooperate with each other.
Okay.
Because neither one of them can act alone. There have to be at least 3. Now, you can do this and feel quite certain that even if one of them is compromised, meaning someone steals their key, you still have access to your funds. The only problem in that situation is that your wallet is not hot, it's cold. This means that you can't access your own funds.
Aren't you dead?
No, before
you die. Okay, got you.
Meaning this is not an account to be used on a daily basis. Just the savings account.
It's your will's account, so to speak. Right.
Now, the other way is oversimplified Adi Shamir's secret sharing scheme that Manny Rosenfeld coordinated for me. Which means you take
who may or may not own crypto. Yes.
Fine. You take the mnemonic phrase, 24 words, and you split them up into 4 groups of 8 words at a time, meaning that each of the 4 people that you split, and you can split it to 6 groups of 3-letter, 5 words, or you can split it in some other way, as long as each and every one of the people who got the words doesn't have control over the entire 24 or even 12 out of 24.
They have to remember those words, though.
They have to write them down someplace safe. That's a thing. Now, if you can't keep your words safe, if you can't trust any family member, then there are custodian services which require you to trust one organization, such as a bank, such as a vault, and these are less adequate for a trustless environment like crypto.
Exactly.
So,
and it's part of the greater phenomena, though, for people worried about their crypto assets, isn't it?
Well, it's a problem because a lot of people lose their crypto.
Exactly. I mean, let's face it, I'm one of these people that, putting aside crypto, okay, if it's a PIN, if it's a number, if it's remembering a word, my passwords, I'm one of these ridiculous people that each one of my passwords is the same one. That's not good. I know that's not good. So, I know, but I'm one of many. Here's the thing.
Yeah, so crypto is not there yet for the person who just wants to have a savings account. It's not there for these people. You need other services. But if you're technology literate, if you know how to work with stuff and you can teach your kids, your parents on how to use these words, or just tell them, well, guys, this is a list of 6 words. I know you don't have to know anything, just know that you have to keep these words safe. And if anything happens to me, you go to this friend of mine. He knows the business. He'll take care of everything for you. And that's something you can also do and coordinate everything, but you need to plan ahead. Now, most people don't, because thinking about what will happen after we die is too complicated for people, and it causes people to get stressed out. It causes people to worry.
You don't need to explain that. No, seriously, Jonathan. But I have to say, I'm going to quote my late father on that one about death. I'll be dead. Who cares? But that said, Jonathan Klinger, always a pleasure to have you with us.